Hello guys, Archangel here by Lamplight to tell you the story of why I think my house is haunted. We moved here from a pretty creepy apartment back in 2000, and this house was made in 1991, I think, so it's 22 years old. But the first couple of months it was fine. The very first haunting incident that I remember was I came upstairs, and we have this long hallway, and there's a room here, there's the bathroom here, then a room here, and then a room all the way at the end of the hallway. And in that room, the one at the end of the hallway, there was a chair all the way over by the window, and it was just slowly rocking back and forth and back and forth. This was on a summer day. It wasn't really windy, though you could excuse it as wind, but whatever. That's the only incident that I can recall from the first year or so here. Once I moved into the basement, things got a little weird. My chair, the one I'm actually sitting in right now, would turn and face me. Like, in the middle of the night, I'd turn it away from me because I'd get all paranoid and be like, oh, someone's watching me. But when I woke up in the morning, it'd be facing me, facing exactly where my face is, no matter which side of the bed I was laying on. And I used to change my room around. I still change my room around almost every 3 or 4 months. So it's in a different place every time. Also, I'd keep my door open because I didn't like it closed. Because my sister used to sleep out in the main room of the basement. I slept in this little side room, I guess. And I'd always see shadows out there moving back and forth. Even though no one was up, I was the only one up. Usually around like midnight or 1 in the morning, I saw these shadows, and they just creeped me out. Now I usually keep my door closed. Then there was this one night where I was laying there, and it was one of those nights where you just can't sleep. You don't know why, you just can't. And I felt someone jump on my bed. I thought it was my little sister at the time, but then later I found out that she wasn't home that night. Me being like kind of half asleep and not really caring, I just kicked her off and said go away. I felt the feeling go off of the bed, but I didn't hear any feet running away or anything. I turn around, look, there's no one there. What really scared me is the time I was down there playing some games with my sister. I think it was who gives a shit what it was. I was playing video games with my sister, and we both went upstairs to get some food, and then we came back down. One of my knives at the time, because I collect knives, one of them was stuck into my desk. Just like, boom, straight up in the desk. I didn't do it. She didn't do it. No one else was down there. That kind of freaked me out a lot. The basement in general is it's pretty creepy. A lot of weird things happen down there. You hear a lot of weird noises. You see a lot of weird things, and you just get weird feelings. Just a weird place. Now, my sister one time, she was letting the dogs out, and she heard this weird banging noise coming from downstairs, and she went down there, and there were books all over the floor, which is weird because at the time, we didn't have any books down there. We do now because we use the basement as storage, but back then there were people like living down there, so we didn't really have any books down there. There were more upstairs and on little bookshelves looking all decorative. I don't know. It was just weird. And then there's my laundry room. My laundry room is pretty creepy. Just when you go in there, you get feelings of dread and anger. It usually takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to start feeling that way because I go down there, do laundry, go upstairs, run really fast. Every single time I do it, I feel like someone's staring at me, and now I feel like there's someone staring at me right now. Why am I doing this? My dad feels it too. When he goes in there, he just gets angry. He doesn't know why. He just does. My mom doesn't. My sisters don't. Just us two. And then there's my craft room, which if you go all the way around the basement, because it's a finished basement, it's just right there, just on the other side of the wall as the laundry room. And that's, for a period of time, I would not go in there. No idea why. I just hated going in there. I hated the feeling I got, and it's just, I'll get to why later on I don't go in there very often. I'll get to that in a minute. But for the first like month or two, why I didn't go in there, I had no idea why, no reason for it. I just hated it. Continuing on with the basement, my friends, most of them were different than the ones that did the investigation. We did a Ouija board game in the basement. Now, the second time we played it, my friends swear they weren't moving it. It was just me and then my two closest friends at the time. And they swear they weren't moving it. One of them, I can see that he was moving it, but the other one, no, I know he wasn't moving it. Now, I know Ouija board's supposed to be, it's your subconscious mind, and you don't know you're moving it. You're just like, oh, it's moving, because you want it to move, and your subconscious mind's making you move it very, very slowly, so you can't really feel it. You can't feel your muscles moving. But I can't explain, like, what the thing said then, because it was making up stories about, there were four of them. There were four spirits in the house. Now, one of them was named Ezekiel. He was the one good one. The rest of them, they were bad, apparently. But Ezekiel, he was hung in the 1800s somewhere south of here, and he was like an outlaw in like Western times or something. Then there was this kid named Georgie. He called himself Georgie, and he said he died from some plague in like the 1700s. And the other two were unnamed. One of them apparently is in the craft room of my basement, which might explain why I hated going in there. And then the other one, it just hardly did anything. Thinking about it now, I feel like my friend did it, but you never know. At the end of a Ouija board game, you're supposed to close the portal by, I forgot what you're supposed to say, but you're supposed to put the little movie thing in the middle, and then chant this thing over and over until the movie thing goes over to yes. It never went over to yes. It went over to no twice and then just stopped. So we left it. We just left it and packed up the board and went upstairs and left it alone. Shortly after that, things got really weird. I moved my stuff upstairs because my sister moved out and I took her room. So I was no longer in the basement. Everything's fine for a little bit. My chair occasionally would turn. It doesn't do that anymore. Really hope when I wake up tomorrow it doesn't do that. Because it's like, what time is it? It's fucking 12. It's midnight right now. Even better. In my kitchen, cabinets would open and close, and that hardly happens. It happens once or twice. It might be me forgetting to open or close a cabinet. I don't know. But one time I was getting ready for school, and I walked into the kitchen, got all my stuff ready, turned the light off, and right in front of the door, my back door that I was about to walk out of and then go to school, right in front of it, there was just a kid sitting there on the floor, and he looked up and he stared at me, and then I turned on the light and he was gone. I don't know. Another time I walked into the kitchen, and there was just a woman in a white dress. She's just standing there. I saw her out of the corner of my eye. I realized she was there, but I didn't want to full on look at her. So I just walked out of the kitchen. I just left. And those are the only two things I've seen, and those two were more recently. One of them was like a year and a half ago. The other one was a couple months ago. My mom has only experienced one thing, and that was when she was laying in bed and she heard a voice coming from her closet saying, "Help me, Mommy," in like a little kid's voice. And she doesn't have any little kids anymore. Her youngest kid is 12. And, I don't know, it's creepy. And my dad, he occasionally experiences something. The thing that he felt upstairs was, he was laying there in his room by himself, and he feels someone, like, touching his back. And he, like, paws at it because he's half asleep, and nothing's there. Now, me and my dad, we both get this feeling when we go upstairs. We have to pass this office. Like, the stairs are here, they go up, and then right here is an office. We have to pass it. And every time we go upstairs at night, anytime past like 10 o'clock, we always feel like there's someone staring at us from in there. And you just feel eyes burning into the back of your head, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you have to run up the stairs. My dogs, they like to stare into random black rooms. They just stare. And you call their names, they don't look away. They just stare into the rooms. There's a rumor that, like, animals can hear or see spirits, and I don't know, that's the first thing I think of when I see my dog staring into a room. Now, all of this stuff can kind of pass off as just anything could have really happened. The wind could have done something. I could have been seeing things, hearing things. There's one thing, though, that I do believe, and it is that little boy that I saw in the kitchen. My mom told me at our old apartment before we moved, when I was like 2 or 3, I would talk to this kid named Steve. And she thought it was my imaginary friend, but one day I told her, no, this guy's real. We're playing, he can play, he can pet the cat, he can lift things up. And I would talk to him, and my mom never saw him, no one else ever saw him. I don't remember this. I don't remember any of this. I hardly remember that apartment. I just remember the layout of it. It's just me talking about having a friend that no one else could see, and then it following me to this house. So that leaves one question on my mind. Is the house haunted? Or am I? Thank you guys for watching. I am Archangel. I hope you enjoyed the video because I sure as hell didn't. It scared the shit out of me. But it's for your pleasure. So there you go. So please leave a comment, a like, favorite, subscribe, do all that shit. Thank you for watching. I am Archangel, and have a nice day. To make things worse, it's actually really windy outside, so there's like a howling, and I'm turning this light up because it's scary, but it leaves a smoke everywhere. What the hell was I talking about? Damn it. Oh my gosh. It's so creepy back there. What? Sorry, I had a lot of ginger ale and Oreos. I'm a fat ass. It's got really fucking windy in here. That room is also very scary. Gotta text people. I love matches. I just do. Love matches. Can't do this. I can't do this anymore.